I'm Delphine, a Catholic trying to live a Christ-centered life. And today I want to talk about being single and not lonely, how to not only survive but to thrive during the state of life that God has willed for us. First of all, let's acknowledge that the Lord said it is not good for man to be alone. God knows, because He created us, that we crave community and union. And that when you're a single person and you want to be married, it is hard. It is tough. But God is calling us into something right now in this present state of life that is purposeful and that has a real role in community. I used to think I only had value when I was in a relationship. This was 20-something-year-old me, not knowing my true identity as the daughter of God, daughter of a king. I think I thought that when I was in a relationship, I was someone's priority, I was someone's person, not realizing that we are always God's priority and always God's person. So that has really freed me of that pressure, because I think that can lead you to make bad decisions and to not be able to discern if this is the right person for you, because you're just so desperate to be part of something. And I'm realizing more and more now that I can be a really valued member of my society and of the church as a single person, because I have more resources, I have more time, I have the ability to volunteer, to be a spiritual sister or a spiritual mother to others. So I have a goddaughter and I've really taken that role on very seriously the past, especially maybe year or two, wanting to help to guide her and lead her. And it really gives me a sense of purpose and mission, which is so lovely, because I used to have this wrong notion that, my life will only start after I'm married, and I could not be more wrong. I also want to say that idolizing marriage is obviously not good. This idea that I had that like my life starts when I'm married, or I'll be so much happier when I'm married, that is putting way too much pressure on my future spouse. Because, you know, I want to be confident in myself and a whole person when I meet this other person. So we can be like two whole circles and then we become like a Venn diagram. Because, you know, I don't want it to be like you complete me. Because really it's God who completes us. God created us. And I think there's a real attractiveness in that when you meet someone who is confident. In the Bible, Paul says it is good for them to stay unmarried as I am, when he talks about the unmarried and widows. And I used to read this and be like, excuse me, you don't know how I feel, Paul. But I get it now, because I think what he's saying is that it's so much better to be able to dedicate your life to God than to be in the wrong situation. I spent many silly young years in, you know, unsustainable romance or unnecessary drama, because you feel that that's, you know, that's love, but it's so wrong. Like, in order to really know love, we need to understand who created love, and that's God. This time of being single has helped me to really know what I'm looking for in someone else. So we all have that list, right? We're like, oh, we want them to be funny and loyal and blah, blah, blah. And it's really helpful to have that list, because when you look at it, you should say, am I all these things? And then use this time, because we have more time. We have more time to pray, to serve our families, to evangelize, to help volunteer at our church, listen to podcasts, and to watch YouTube videos. Which, by the way, please don't forget to subscribe to SALT for more Christian dating and lifestyle content. It's also very good to take into account that it is also our choice to be single. It's not just a situation that we find ourselves in. It's of course God's will, but it's also a conscious decision that we've made. So for example, for me, after I reverted, I was like, I really want to marry a Catholic husband, a Catholic man, and you know, that rules out a lot of people. So that was a choice that I made. Something that I will say is that when I was in relationships back in my secular life, it kept me quite anonymous to the outside world. I think because I felt like I've got my kind of, my pack, I'm just going to stay here. It was such an inward way of living. Well, now I try not to be anonymous anymore, and if anything, I just can't be. So I joined an amazing parish community, and now it's like every mass, it's like I have people to hug, people to wave to, people to have, you know, a cup of tea with, and it's so lovely. But it took courage. It took courage for me to step into the parish hall the first time just on my own. It's quite nice to actually have these moments where you're like, okay, who am I? Who do I want to present myself as? And also having a dog has stopped me being able to be anonymous in my local area, because everyone wants to talk to you when you have a dog. They want to say, morning, or that is a beautiful dog, or like, oh, I hope you're enjoying your walk. And it's really lovely. It's really made me realise this need for community and this like innate nature for it as well. You know, because now I look forward to it. Even when I leave my house at 7 a.m. to walk Nola, my dog, I'm like, oh, what conversation am I going to end up in now? And I just really try to embrace whatever God's plan is for me today. Even if today isn't the day that I'm going to meet the one, it can still be a great day. And it can be a day that we encounter God even more. So I really hold close to this scripture, which is from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Now, on down days when I am feeling a bit low, when it's like a stormy day outside, I don't want to go out, and I'm like, oh, I read that and I think, wow, like how exciting that we have no idea. Like God could change our lives in an instant. And we really, like, we just need to be receptive and open to that. And I think surrendering that, accepting that, it makes it so much easier. And also being part of a community, meeting more people, it also might be the way that you meet your spouse as well. And you know, let's take our inspiration from the Blessed Virgin Mary, who told God, let your will be done. And she was so open and so receptive to God's plan. So remember, guys, it's all God's plan. So to conclude, I don't want to downplay the ache, the pain, the loneliness that we do feel as single people. I've been there. Like, I'm the person who sometimes can't follow specific people on Instagram because I'm like, I'm so happy for you in your life, but it makes me feel bad about mine. And I know that is sinful, that is totally wrong, but that's how my mind works. And sometimes I go into this panic of scarcity where I'm like, there are no good single men or anything like that. However, God told us that He wants us to live life and life in abundance. Psalm 27 verse 14 says, wait for the Lord, be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. So my message as a single person to my fellow single brothers and sisters, please stay hopeful, stay purposeful and stay present. Know that our life doesn't start when we meet that person. Our life is right now. If you have liked this video, disliked this video, or have a comment for me or a question, please post it here. I love reading them. And don't forget to subscribe to Salt for more Christian content. All right, thank you everyone for listening and God bless you. Bye.